Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's percolating. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning to the people on Facebook. Good morning to the people on IG. Good morning to the people on the YouTube. Good morning to the people on LinkedIn and Twitter too. Java. Percolating. Get a vibe, stay ready. Truth in the cup, keep it strong, keep it steady. Pull up a chair, yeah. Take a sip it with me. Good morning, good people. Java with Jimmy. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, the love percolating. Java with Jimmy. Good morning, that morning. Good morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning. Yeah, the love percolating. Yeah, Java with Jimmy. Good morning, that morning. Percolating. Yeah, we in it. Yeah, we in it. Good morning. Good morning. Java with Jimmy. Percolating. Yeah, we in it. Yeah, we in it. Good morning. Good morning. Java with Jimmy.
Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fan.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026. And you are in the Java Cafe this morning, what I will call a double shot. We have brother Daniel Laurent. No, sir. Daniel Laurent, a.k.a. DL. If you know, he comes into the cafe. There's all type of shade, things like that. But that's my good brother. We're going to talk about his observation of the black dollar. We're just coming off Juneteenth. We're going into this weekend, what I call Juneteenth weekend number 2 for black folks here in the country, America. But we're going to get his perspective of the black dollar. We're also going to get his input. Black dollar plays a role in this, something that everybody is talking about. The trade of Jaylen Brown. And we'll get into it in just a few minutes. I'm not going to give a whole bunch of commentary right now. So let's make the best use of his time and bring the good gray bearded brother into the job again. Good morning, Dio.
So it starts.
I appreciate the red shirt, though.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? And just because this is what it is, why are you not on Instagram?
I should be on Instagram. You have to refresh your
Nope, you're
it's
not.
On. I am. I see one person watching. Kill Pretty's in the room. Jesse Marie and Fitted Cruise.
All right.
Did you refresh?
I refresh, but I don't know. All right, as long as you see it, I just want to make sure I keep you honest. You know what I'm saying?
Always. Yeah. That's what we do here in the Java Cafe. But I won't even get into that other stuff because But first of all, greet the audience, say hello, and then kind of let us know how you're doing. Anything. I mean, I'm aware of some things, transitions and whatnot, but I know that, times are interesting as a black man, period.
Times are interesting. So, peace, Java community, Java Cafe. It's been a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Glad to be back and say what's up to everyone. Really, really dope interview yesterday. Fully packed interview yesterday, but you had Shagun, who former chief of economic opportunity and inclusion, and I was the office manager of the office and kind of coined myself his executive assistant. So I was doing all of his scheduling and all the type of things, you know what I'm saying? And so high regards for him and once he left, I knew that it was probably time for me to leave. It wasn't going to be the same. And shout out to everyone that's still there, Donald and Kareen and Alicia. But, I just knew that it probably was time for me to leave also. And, I'm in a new situation and it's dope. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Really, really happy.
And I know when I would visit you at City Hall, I would never see you in a t-shirt and a hat. So I know.
But what's funny? When I first so Shagun and I both started on the exact same day, ironically. But when I came in, I had I had a shirt. I don't know if I had a tie, but I had like a shirt and slacks and all that. And I was like, City Hall, I'm supposed to show up this way. And I remember I would always see Rufus walking in and out, and he would have sneakers on, and I'm like, damn, how they like you could wear sneakers? And I remember saying to him, like, you could wear sneakers? They let you wear sneakers? He was like, yeah, I could wear sneakers. I'm him.
Okay, then.
And so, it is what it is. I mean, I was always mindful, with the clothing brand Black Dollar, you know what I'm saying? My nature is not self-absorbed, you know what I'm saying? And so I would never walk around in my own stuff. But I would show up sometimes dressed down a little bit. But I think because of the office I was in and who I was, serving alongside, you never see. It was funny seeing Shagun yesterday with a short sleeve. You never saw him without a suit. So for him to have a suit and for me to show up in like a t-shirt and some ripped jeans is just weird. So, I was always mindful of that.
He is definitely a good brother. I have a couple of times, and I took pictures when Shagun had jeans on. So see him in the short sleeve yesterday. Jeans,
it's like a unicorn.
Man, 14 years I've known that brother, and I've seen him in jeans twice, maybe out of a suit 3 times.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, shout out to Los too. I seen Los say what's up. I think, my son's in Morehouse, man, and going down there, I completely understand, obviously we are who we are, right? But I understand him more going down there and seeing, and even like, others that went to Morehouse, but like Shagun, I can see it. I can see like little Shaguns walking around. I'm like, I get it. Right. So some people take to it and some people rebel against it. He took to it and is serving in his purpose. And also, shows a certain amount of prestige and respect when you show up that way. You know what I'm saying?
It's impression, and the area that he was moving in, there's already enough that comes with it. And so, and to your point, I a lot of the brothers from Morehouse, Willie Broderick, I think Anthony Davis, who was of a different generation, I think he's the only one that I know well that, respects everything that comes out of going to Morehouse, but he's a little more relaxed in his presentation. Now he'll throw on a suit and do it. And it's definitely a part of it. But this is all related, DL, to Black Dollar. And let's jump into this because you're talking a little bit. There was the shout out and the appreciation and the update of what you're doing now. But you had named at some level their perception. You had named a Black man going into a system.
You're good, James.
What? Listen, I done learned a couple of things over these last couple of years.
Very good.
And I have to name, and as much as I fuss, the last one you sent me, you are a advisor. You will text me and whatnot. And you text me a couple of weeks ago that thing, and I said, but you're a part of that evolution. So I want to name that and appreciate that of you. We know what's going on with Jaylen Brown. He is in the system of the NBA. I get it. Trades, business. Brad Stevens is trying to set up a team and win. Can I ask for your thoughts about that? And then I'm curious to think that if you believe that there was more than the business of basketball that may or may not have contributed to the Celtics' decision to trade him. And also when they started that, Jaylen Brown made it known. You don't want me here? I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I think that, you know, and it's definitely today, not so much conspiracy theorists, right? There's always layers to being a black man and moving in these spaces. Um, I think his intentionality, which I appreciated and respected, um, you know, for someone who's not from here but sees the value and sees the talent and sees the possibilities. In hindsight, and I said it to myself, not publicly, but when he made the announcement of like creating a Black Wall Street here, and you know, I was at the hall at the time, and so I know there was a lot of meetings happening and this, that, and the third, and but I just hate that. I hate that we announce and talk about things. And I'll never forget when I met David Banner at Harvard years and years ago. He was about to start talking to the room, and everybody, you know, immediately started doing this. And he was like, "Hold on, family, hold on, everyone, put your phones away. We're gonna have a family conversation." And I think, you know, there's something to be said about just being behind the scenes. I don't know Jaylen Brown at all. I don't believe that he has to be at the forefront and be the face of things. I don't think that that's so much important to him, at least my gut. Um, I think part of him announcing that is to maybe have inspired others to join in that, you know what I'm saying, and have a collective. And but it's just, it sucks that when you do something and then when you have examples of others who are not doing as much and they might just do basketball clinics, and respect to that, because that's important, right? I immediately think of our local legend, Chill Will. Um, but when you have actual infrastructure, and like, I know what Pioneer he poured into, I know what Crown Legends he poured into, and with the whole incubator thing that he was doing. You know, it just sucks that, like, yet again, we have something and someone is trying to be intentional. Now, I don't want to be so extreme, right? Like, he's still alive. He's still able to move around. Hopefully, there's some things in place where, like, he's still able to kind of have somebody here and move around and still do it without him physically being here. But it just sucks. And also for the kids, and I just equate it to when Trump won, right? Um, it was a lot of emotions, and I remember talking to a close friend of mine who was a colleague in the past, and she was like, you know, what did Obama actually do for you, you know, as a president? I didn't really have an answer for that, but what I will say is my son, that's all he saw as a president. Barack Obama as a president, for my son who is now 18, he's all he saw. And so for us, you know, we saw a bunch of white men as presidents. It wasn't attainable to be a president. My son saw the possibilities of that. And so for Jaylen Brown and him moving around and being a basketball player and being at the top of his game and also pouring into community and also seeming like a decent person. He's not going around and raping chicks in hotels, and you know what I mean? He seemed like a decent person. Kids see that. And the gifts of that we don't even know. But to take that away, it's like, damn, yet again. Right. And so I'm not online making my comments, you know what I'm saying, like everybody else is. I did see somebody like, all these grown-ass men crying and blah, blah, blah on my timeline. I think people are entitled to feel. I think it is a disappointment, and I think it just doesn't make sense. But it is a business. I am not in the business of NBA. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I salute him for being a black man and standing in what seemed like purpose. You know, and so I wish more of us would do it. And we don't have to have $300 million. You can be making $30,000 a year, but just be of purpose and have some integrity. And I just, you know,
I'm going to jump in here and say a few things. One is you, toward the middle there, you said the words, he's still alive. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm home. I'm looking at pictures. I had the opportunity to meet him graced the cover of the magazine last year, with him. And I'll be very transparent. You referred to the incubator and whatnot. I don't know if you went in the application process, but it was an interesting process. And I'll be 100.
Mm-hmm.
I had got turned off to the whole thing. The way it
I
way
did
it rolled
too.
out. Okay, so we're clear. The way that was rolled out could have been a lot better, and it put me in a particular place with the process and a little bit with him until I met him, thanks to Beckma and Nicole Obi last October. And DL, along with his skill set, there was no non-negotiables is what exuded out of him when I met him. And I think you understand that term of non-negotiables, but I want to back up a little bit because you said that he's still alive, and me posting on social media and whatnot, to people that haven't met him, I definitely get it. But being around him and that his presence, it challenged me to be like, yo, I'm about to really jump into my non-negotiables, no matter who don't understand it, no matter who gets offended. I'm not negotiating on my peace, on my downtime and all that. All that to say that impact I've noticed online when you mention that people are posting and whatnot, I had the thought that it was almost a sentiment of memoriam. Memorial. And I want to ask you, DL, as a Black man, with everything that you said about the business and understanding it and his intentionality, as a Black man with that sentiment of some feeling he's gone, how does that play into you and everything with him beyond basketball? How does all of that play? They put him in a situation where we feel like we're memorializing him, maybe because of what you just said, his intentionality. How does that, in the realm of the Black dollar, how do you respond to that?
I think that, and not to keep giving Shagun so many flowers, he had his time yesterday.
We can.
But he said something, I don't remember all of it, but it's just like something to the degree of, it can't just be one. It can't just be one of us. And so the problem with that, people were like, oh, we don't have leaders. We don't have like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. Or we don't have, we can't just have one because it's easy to remove that one. And so maybe we have 5, maybe we have 8, maybe we have 16. But when there's one, it's just easy to remove. And then it's just a blow to the gut. And you're like, damn. For me personally, and this is why I said he's still alive, it reminds me of, and I never met Nipsey either, but Nipsey had and still has a tremendous influence on not so much the music, yes, that too, but just as a man, what he was doing and how he saw better and how he loved his people, and you can see it. And his community that he loved and his people that he loved is the same thing that he died from, right? With Jalen, he's still able to go to Philly and do the same thing or still pour into here. I don't know. But again, as a person, when you try to do something and then you get knocked around, it's only so much you can kind of take. I mean, he definitely has the so your non-negotiables, I'll put an asterisk to that statement. I think he has certainly afforded the right to have a little more non-negotiables, right? You or I's peace might be disturbed a little bit if someone says, hey man, here's 50 grand. I need you for 7 days, right? Our peace might get disturbed a little bit. He has afforded the right to say, not interested. I'm not waking up for that.
Gotcha.
But the point of it is, I think we all should have non-negotiables, or what I call like moral standards. And to the Black dollar point, and I just told my wife this yesterday, and I want to share this because I'm like, damn, that was a bar. Like, I'm such an artist. I went to Shea Butter Smoothies yesterday morning and grabbed a smoothie over on Dorchester, on Morrissey Boulevard, right over by Lambert's. And when I got there in the morning, there was a extension cord. It was a long extension cord from like the top. It was like literally right in front of the window, going wrapped around the back. And I got there and I'm like, the hell is this? And I know Shari, right? I could have called her and been like what, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. So I followed the cord. I went around and it was an extension cord plugged into like a leaf blower. I was like, well, that's dumb. So then I went back and just unplugged it. And one of the workers came out and she moved it. I say all that to say, and right after I did it, somebody came and ordered a smoothie. It was a mom and her 2 sons. I say all that to say, there's a certain amount of pride that I feel like I wish we had more of when it comes to our businesses. You know, I feel a certain sense of ownership with Shea Butter Smoothies. That's not to be confused with entitlement, right? I still go and I pay for every smoothie and I always tip 25%, like the most thing, right? Because I know that goes to the workers. I never go and ask for a free smoothie. I know if I asked for one, she would absolutely give it to me. But there's a certain amount of pride that I had to see that wire and be like, what the hell? And I think that either is something that is in you and cultivated, or it can come from being a homeowner. And I think that what a lot of us unfortunately would take a picture of that wire and post it like, see, that's why I'll be coming. See, blah, 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 blah. This ghetto ass play. And it's like, bro, just, you know what I mean?
I do. And can I also chime in and say, DL, you've had a lot of influence on me from the damn. What's the word? What's the word? Vacillate?
Vacillation.
Vacillation.
Or vacillate. And people gonna be like, that sounds freaky and kinky. But you know, that it's so I read the dictionary and read the encyclopedia and the thesaurus and all that. And I actually got VA on my arm. And it was like a rap group, like my version of Wu-Tang I was gonna form. And then I just realized people suck and they constantly disappoint you. So I just continued as a solo artist.
That's definitely after dark. But the influence I was going to say, another point is that a couple of years ago, you and Nia, I had put up a post about a business and I was hot.
Yeah.
And you hit me and you said, hey, you know, we have to be careful. And this was, if I'm right, this was before you sort of curated the brand itself of Black Dollar. This was just something that, you know, you use the word intentionality. I thought I did. You use that a lot. And so you've had an influence on me about that because I've been some places and then being around Nia, you get an expectation of what service is. And so I tell her often, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I think you mess me up because know what it should be. And then you go somewhere and it's not. My point there is that this thing of the Black Dollar intentionality, sort of a pride and ownership, if I'm understanding you correctly, not just with Shea Butter, but just any Black-owned business, that is part of your mission. And so I can't believe 20 minutes is going already. As we get ready to, Brother Milton is coming in, what is the status of the Black Dollar? We have, from what Shagun talked about, with opportunities that could have been better orchestrated around FIFA. We have the young ladies from Social Butterflies. They're doing the tall ships. But you also have a national lens. And so what is the status, DL? You can start national, and then as all politics or all prosperity is local. Give us your perspective locally.
I think obviously this administration is attacking everything culture, right? And we haven't even seen the complete ramifications of all the things that have been gutted and reversed and all these things, which on one level, it makes me feel like a lot of these talking points and policies were all just performative, because if they can easily just be ripped up like that from one person, and he's a useful idiot. He's not doing all this. It's others, right? But he's a useful idiot and he's being used. And I think he's the face of it. But when he dies, like there's still that thought process still exists. But I think that all the money, like nonprofits are scrambling left and right, right? People are trying, like a lot of people are going to close, and absorb and all those things. And I just think that it's just interesting of people's business models. And as Black Dollar, I always say, think of a problem that you have and try to create a solution for it. And that could be anything from a Post-it note to Squatty Potty, right? Something that, you know Squatty Potty, right?
Is that the little stair thing if you put your feet on it and take a poop?
But it's a medical thing where you actually like it, that there's a thing. And so it's not like a sexy thing to sell at a trade show, but it's a real thing that has actual benefits, right? I think that I say this all the time, and I sometimes get checked by my wife about it, but I feel what I feel. I think that, there can only be so many butter or oil or those type of businesses, right? And so if you have something that you can scale and you can sell and people find use and value for it, then that's the golden ticket. And I think a lot of us are competing, myself included, and I've taken myself out because I'm just frustrated with it. We're competing for these grants, right? And we're all competing for the same grants. And then you have some people that maybe have an in, or maybe they have a better proposal and then they get it, and then it causes animosity, and you have everyone forming a nonprofit instead of just merging together. And one other thing, another Shagun Flower, as he said, he always tells us when a Black person talks to him about a nonprofit, he tells them, do not start a nonprofit, because we tend to do it in reverse. Instead of having a business that is profitable, then creating a nonprofit arm that you can then have be its own ecosystem, we create a nonprofit and then also make a living off of that, which then creates maybe weirdness and malfeasance and all these things, right? Which we've seen play out. I don't know what the Black Dollar, I think that people are more mindful today, which I appreciate. I appreciate you publicly saying about me talking to you about that. I've called a lot of people. I've called myself the Black business ghost whisperer. I don't have an investment in these businesses, but even businesses that I don't particularly rock with, I don't go online and publicly bash, right? Don't do that. And if you stand on business and you go to Strega and Cheesecake Factory and post about them, have at it. Post about Nia too. She can get it. Everybody gets it. But if you're specifically targeting Nia and Merle's Kitchen and the Mix, but you don't post about Talk and Walk in Hyde Park, that's a problem to me. And I take that personal. You know what I'm saying? So I have called people and I've said, and I'll let them air their grievances. And I think when people are posting, they just want to be heard. I don't think it's so much maliciousness of, I'm going to shut you. I mean, there's a couple of folks in our community that's like that, right? We have like the Charleston Whites and Jaguar Rights and you know what I mean? We have a few of those. But I think people just want to be heard. So they're just posting, I had a bad experience, I'm going to tell you about it. But if you allow them to vent, then they'll,
Another thing there, and I've learned one lesson with you today, and never book you for half an hour. You need like an hour.
That's not fair. And you didn't say that. You just, and you were late. So like, it's a double shot. I don't appreciate it. It's a double shot of Java, but not in a way that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm giving it back to you.
We're getting ready to bring in our next guest. I was waiting for the right moment, but I do want to be sensitive to this brother that's coming in, and I believe you know him. I also want to, you talked a little bit about the Jaylen Brown, and we're going to speak with him about that also. But I wanted to also ask you, DL, your observation of not only the economic impact, but the sense of family, community, or people feel that some of those spaces will. What are your thoughts around us coming together as Black Boston, Black and Brown Boston for FIFA? And that's one of the topics I'm going to talk with Brother Milton about, from Brockton's curfew till, to some chatter I saw. Look who's in the.
Hey, little lady.
No, that's little brother.
Yeah.
Don't judge because of the hair.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? I'll tell you what. I was not gonna even say anything. I was gonna be like, "Aw," and then
Nah, he gets that a lot. He's not even tripping. He's handsome. I go play, but don't make too
I'm
much
like,
noise.
of course. So what happened to James? Did he just get?
I was trying to get you to
Oh,
just.
okay.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
anything.
that's
So,
cool.
So what
I'll
I
go
will
ahead and exchange.
what I will say is this. You know, FIFA for me personally, I don't personally get. However, I love the pride and the excitement that I'm seeing all around me. And I love that, right? I love when anyone is excited and prideful for their culture because I feel like as someone that was born here and I have all types of family all over, I don't really have culture. And that's what attracted me to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That was my culture. That was what I felt a part of. And so, I think that there are a lot of unwell folks that are in our community. And it's hard to be an umbrella and welcome everyone in. And I don't know if I'm on that train. But what I will say is for the folks who are putting on and doing good and being a light, I want to give you your flowers. I want to champion you and I want to encourage you to keep going in spite of the darkness that keeps like rearing its head. You know what I'm saying? And I'll end it in that note because I don't want to take up your time, which y'all are going to speak about. But I just, there are a lot of folks, man, that people are entertained by, and I just wish that we would stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
the last thing that I would say is I think that it's interesting as Black and brown folks, we think that we have the privilege to be slithered and cut in different pies. Like we do not have the luxury of that. So I don't care if you are from H Block. I don't care if you are gay. I don't care if you consider yourself an atheist. I don't care if you are vegan. We are all in this together and we need to figure it out. Full stop. And being on code is important. And James, I had a conversation with him. I don't know if he shit, so I won't say whatever, but like there was a disagreement, I think, with someone, and I said both of you are needed. And if it's not about nothing, then it's not about nothing. And both of you have since flourished together. And I love seeing both of you in a space, on a flyer, whatever it is. Right? We need to be on code. That's it.
Yep.
So
I want to give
coming
Brother Milton
together.
a chance because I know he's
Already
sitting here waiting. I'll let him respond, and then DL will let you go.
Yeah.
And so we can talk with Brother Milton. But Milton, respond there, greet DL, and then we're going to jump in. And I would love to hear your perspective in response to what DL said, because I think there's a different element for CV. Because Brother Augusto, I believe, did a video yesterday and talked about the history, the smallest country, and the underdog. And DL, some of that stuff inadvertently was in our conversation. So, Brother Milton, the floor is yours.
Listen, I agree with what he said, right? And I want to say this, right? We don't have to agree on everything, right? But we can agree to come together, right? I just want to say that, like, we all have our beliefs and we all want what we want, right? But we ain't got to fight about it, right? Listen, you can be a Trump supporter. I'm not, but we ain't got to fight about it. We can still come to the table and break bread. Why can't we? Like, you can still believe in what you believe in. Let me believe in what I believe in, but let's find the middle ground, right? So to me, the politics, listen, my best advice, leave all that at the door. Tell me what's transpired with you and your family, my brother. What's going on with your family? How's your week doing? I don't care about the politics, none of that. I don't care, because that's all here to distract us.
Mark.
How's your kids doing, right? How's your daughter? How's your mother? How's your father? Talk to me about real problems. I don't care. Like, listen, I get it, right? The Jaylen Brown situation is another topic, like, but it is what it is, right? Like, everything's just here to drive us and keep us busy and go crazy. But the reality is this, right? You just need to put all of that to the side and find that common place of where we can come together and love on each other. We just need to love on each other. And I'm glad you addressed Java because I be paying attention to everything he's doing. And I don't want him in any back and forth. He knows what I'm trying to promote.
Right.
Tudo junto is the way. Coming together is the best. And listen, we see it. We see the potential of us coming together.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the mayor put a curfew in Brockton. Because too much Cape Verdeans out there. So what I'm seeing, I'm in love with. I just want more of it, right?
More.
I want less violence and more love. This is all I've been wanting to see. So to me, I'm just eating it all up. I'm just sitting back like, look at my community. But I still tell my daughter, stay out of there. Stay out of there. But oh man, I'm just happy. I'm on cloud 9. I'm on whatever. Like call it the best high in life. Like seeing my community come together. And shout out to Bowden Street. Them boys, they go on all night, no issues, no nothing. Like they just turning up, and then like,
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Nothing is more powerful and revolutionary than our love and the way we commune. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I just wanted to mention, what you just said, which I love, and I just want to end on this note, and it's a whole other conversation. We have to be parents. It is important. We have to be parents. So all the blaming of whomever and this and that and that and that and this and that. Yes, programs should not be cut. You know, there's proven metrics on when you reduce programming and like all of that. However, know where your kids are. Be parents. Know who they are friends with, right? Be parents. So anyway, that's a whole other thing.
I just want to, before we let you go, DL, I just want to raise the fact that when you talk about being parents, and again, next time I need to give you a whole hour, because there's the conversation that comes up of it starts at home. We know that programming is going to be cut and all, as you said, the data says, but I have to lift the fact that by my observation, the two of you are exceptional fathers. You know, and so there's this interesting narrative out there about us. Our good brother Carlos is in the room, and in my landing in PR rant, I had made some individual observations of some folks, to Milton's point, not being in back and forth with stuff. And Carlos got on me because one of the things that is this misnomer lie out there that when it comes to us as being fathers, we're not on point. The truth of the matter is, the majority of us actually are.
Yeah.
Media and all that.
It's a study from the CDC that actually, there's a study that people want to look at it. But anyway, that's, you know, we know what it is. And I just want us, like what Milt just said, more of it, more love, more parenting, right? Show up for your kids when they have rehearsals, when they have practices, when they have student parent meetings, show up. I'm tired of just seeing women showing up to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want to take up any more time. So I'm gonna get out and we'll do this again.
And we'll do it after dark too.
James, don't be late next time because you're cutting off, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like Maxine Waters. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
As you should.
All right, man. Love, King.
You got off just in time because I was about to give you a remove again. I love you, dude.
Nice. All right, man. Love.
Brother Milton.
Smile if you miss me, Java. It's been a while.
Well, actually, not that February, which is a little bit of a long time. But when I went to update your flyer, like I didn't have to scroll down that much. So I'm glad to have you here, man. I'm going to jump right in.
All right, go ahead.
Say Cabo Verde without smiling.
Oh, Cabo Verde.
Cabo Verde. Yeah, I got
Verde.
to the Junto down. So don't
Cabo Verde, not Cabo Verde. Like, yo,
Cabo
these
Verde.
announcers, these announcers are like, just remove the E at the end. Like, just don't try to stretch out that E with the day, Cabo Verde. Like, we're watching the game and we're like, all right, calm down, people. We just got here, you know. We on the mat now. So it's like, man.
So say it again so we can say it right.
Cabo Verde.
Cabo Verde. Okay.
Yeah, Cabo Verde. Or just say Cabo
and
Verde.
you said it. You actually said it without smiling. I only set you up like that because how you feeling? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And I love the fact he ended it on a note about being parents, right?
Yes.
Because listen, man, I had disappeared for a little bit, but not because I'm going through it, right? it's just my daughter just had a sweet 15, and in life, Java, right? Me and her mother hasn't had the best relationship, so we're always bumping heads. So as a father, right, mentally I would struggle. Like, am I doing enough? Am I reaching my kid, Java? You know, that was important to me. You know, so as I'm over here just going through the motions, we were doing the sweet 15, and the way she poured into me, Java, man, your brother was crying all over the weekend. Like that entire, from Saturday to Sunday to Monday, I could just kept rewatching that video of my daughter pouring back into me. And what he said is true. It starts with the parents, right? If the city cuts the budgets, that doesn't affect what you do in the house, though. It doesn't. Right?
Say that again. Say.
The city could cut all the budget they want. It doesn't affect what you do in your household, though. Okay? It is what it is, Java. Right? And this is someone I'm speaking from experience. I do community engagement work. I never got paid for it. So that doesn't affect what I do in the community. So when they said the budgets are getting cut, I was like, I felt for the ones who really use it. Like my brother Nugget nonprofit really needs it. I'm just putting in the work. I'm just going around telling the community, yo, let's come together. Right? So the fact that FIFA has done that for the Cape Verdean community in Boston and Massachusetts, Java, man, I'm just sitting back like, I'm not saying I'm taking credit or none of that. I'm just sitting back like, see, this is what I'm trying to tell everybody. This is what I'm trying to convince the brothers about.
So what I just heard from you was you've been locally, and others, Mario and others, Mike, other folk, Nugget, everybody has been trying to help out, but FIFA wound up being a expedited, quick example of what's possible.
What's possible?
Is that what I'm? Okay,
it's a beautiful thing, and I get it, right?
Yep,
and I get it, right? So my home girl, she's a DJ. Shout out Ronnie, she's dope. She did a post and she was like, "Yo, I think it's crazy work that the mayor put a curfew for Brockton." I said, "No, sis, it's crazy work when a loved one can't make it back home. That's crazy work. So pick one." Right?
So but before you go into that too much, I need to ask you, because there's both sides of this. The other day, either we text or I said it on the show, and there was an attributing to an incident that happened in Boston to the CV
it had
community.
nothing to do with the block party.
So I want to make sure we have that balance. Yep.
The media painted that on for Boston. I'm speaking Boston specifically. It was like the first game when we tied against Spain. Everybody was out there. There was an incident down the street and around the corner. So they tied it in because that individual was Cape Verde. And I get it, right? Meaning the city never sleeps. And the ones that want to do evil, they're going to strategically do evil, Java. So that's how the game goes. But they respectfully kept it off of Bowden Street. So I got to respect that, Java. It's not perfect, but the Cape Verdean community, especially in Boston, they're trying. They're trying.
And in Brockton as well. So finish
Yes,
the
Brockton
mayor making this curfew.
Brockton, I literally shout out my little brother Odir. I went to Norfolk recently. I brought my little son there. He had a graduation, right? He just graduated from the college. So I brought my son because I'm uplifting my brothers every step of the way. So as I was there, I was able to connect with other individuals because it was a big graduation. Normally you can't talk to other inmates. And so Brockton, there was a guy named Hotbox from Brockton, and he just came. He said, "Listen, Mill." I said, well, "Talk to me." He said, "The event we did, my family, we loved it. We love what y'all did in Brockton. We want to keep it going." And he started naming all the fellas in Brockton. And these fellas are attached to families, the Cape Verdean families out there. And I'm like, listen, it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us. So as soon as you come home, let's just continue the momentum. But Brockton needs it because that's where all the Cape Verdeans are going. A lot of us are getting priced out of Boston or have been priced out of Boston. My father just put the house on the market also. So it's like, that's just something that had me stressed out. Listen, all the terror, all the pain I felt is that house. So those memories and the fact seeing it on the market now, so I don't know, Jab. It's a lot, but
it's a transition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just talking to DL. He's going through one with like his career. You're going through that with memories. And then I got a chance to talk to big bro Mike about, how important the house is to your dad and how he got it and obtained it and all that other stuff. So I have a lot of context there. So that's why when you said it, I was like, oh, but I want to shout out that good brother too, big brother Mike. But I wanted to ask you to, because here's the thing that's interesting. I was trying to get you to start off with the joy, and you did talk about it in the realm of it's a glimpse of what's possible. But let's talk about Cape Verdean pride right now. How would you describe Cape Verdean pride in one word?
Can I just tell you, like, what I'm experiencing, like what I'm going through?
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm able to be a kid with my father, Java. I'm able to be a kid with my father.
And as a grown man,
Yeah.
how is that? How, tell me.
Listen, like I told my brother Mike, I'm like, listen, man, I caught myself being in the moment, right? I'm a parent first, so I don't do a lot of these outings running around. The city's crazy right now. I get it. So I'm disabled, so I can't be in the mix like that, right? So, but I caught myself watching the game and thinking about my father. So I called Mike, like, yo, listen, what kind of kids are we to our father? Like, this is his sport. This is what he enjoys. He loves this. But yet we're not celebrating with him. I said, I don't care what you're doing Friday. Listen, I'm taking my father out. I'm taking my father out. I told my wife, I called my sister, I called everybody. I said, yo, listen, I want to spend time with my father. You know, and then when I'm talking to him and stuff, my father was like, yo, son, I was up till like 2 a.m. watching USA. And I'm looking at him like, that's why you half asleep now. And like, I'm pulling on him because we're getting close to scoring. I'm being a kid, Java. Streets took that from me. So I'm literally enjoying my father. I'm pushing on him because we're getting close to scoring. And he's looking at me, we laughing. And I'm like, my father, Java. It's the man I want to be, right? So it's a good time. And I get why the Cape Verdeans are proud to be Africans all of a sudden. Been African all my life. I stood on that. So the other Cape Verdeans now, it's like, nah, we Africans. Now they want to be, speak to us correctly. We're not Latinas of Africa. Hold on, I was confused. Because
I saw that post.
A lot of us wasn't even claiming Africa, okay? So I told you in my first interview, I'm an NIGGA. I'm black. It is what it is. So, yeah, I just to see people being proud to be African all of a sudden, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And I get it. We all got that racism when it comes to colorism in our, everybody goes through that, right? The hair texture, your light skin, whatever. Cape Verdeans suffer from that like everybody else, right? So to see us all get behind culture, those islands, yeah, we Africans first. Like, it's a beautiful thing, Java. So me, like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going through. I'm just filled with good feelings, like enjoying my father, and just the potential of just doing so much stuff. Java,
Look
man.
what Carlos said. He said, brother is healing in real time. I think that's what
it is, Java. Again, we all listen. When you see someone in the streets displaying that behavior, they hurt in here, Java. Right? They hurt in here. Most of us are good people. We just had a bad moment because I've been suffering the past few years. And then I went outside. The person said the right thing. He pushed the right button. Next thing you know, I went over his head and I just ruined my life. The reality was I was just going through family issues. Now seeing my kids, money tight, whatever it is, Java. Whatever. We're just all going through it. Right? So we need to take the time here before we run this. We got to fix this, Java.
It's interesting because my next question was with what you're talking about. And I sometimes struggle because I feel like I'm being redundant in saying we're going through so much, but we see the results of going through. So let's always name it and talk about it. From your perspective, what is the status of Black men's mental health right now? How would you describe that?
I feel like we need to stay off of social media to some degree, right? I feel like the men that go to social media and look at what's going on and try to implement that in their life and their relationship, those men are all scrambling, struggling. I feel like what works for me, and what works for you, works for you. I feel like we need to stop chasing what we see on social media and pour into our loved ones. So for me, I realized this. the more I pour into my kids, the bigger the smile, Java.
Mhm.
So for me, I encourage these brothers to just do what they need to do. If you got kids, be a parent first, pour into them. There's a reason why God gave you those gifts. Make no mistake about it. These are gifts that we call our kids. So I realized this. If you have a lady, pour into your lady, uplift her, encourage her. If you got kids, build with them. Build with them. Because as you get older, they will start pouring back into you. Right? So for me, I can just tell you from experience what I'm dealing with. I realize the more I invest in my kids and the more I love on my lady, the better my life has been, Java. That's it. And you know, you see it. Listen, I'm not the richest person, but yet you see your brother taking 1 to 2 trips a year with a family, right?
You kind of challenged me to go to. I'm gonna be honest. You
Right.
influenced the PR decision. You
And
did.
I'll tell you why, right? Because sometimes you got to miss a little to do a lot. You can't be in you can't be at the clubs every night and thinking like, okay, my life's gonna be great. No, I don't do the clubbing. I don't do none of that, Java. I don't. I just focus on my kids and love on my lady, and that's it. And take my trips so I can reset and then try to attack what I'm trying to attack, whether it's writing, whether it's community work, because I need my mental breaks, right? It's hard, Java. It's hard. I'm reliving my traumas in real time. So, you know, shout out to the 2 ladies. I didn't ask for their permission, but I'm gonna start doing some restorative justice work. These are ladies from Boston and stuff. And I was just telling them like, this is what I want to do. I want to open my mouth and you know try to reach these kids, these youth, through my experiences and my struggles. So that's just it, Java, man. You just gotta listen. Stay off of social media. Stop listening to those toxic people. Listen, Future, my favorite rapper, but I don't live his lifestyle. He's toxic king. If I try to implement what he's saying in his music in my relationship, my wife would have left me a long time ago, Java. So it's like,
D don't play.
yeah, you can understand entertainment's entertainment. We need to realize social media is there. Yes, we're just supposed to be social. We can look at the BS, but do not try to implement that in your life. No, don't try to go to the club. There's no love there. Don't try to do the dumb stuff expecting real love there. There's no real connections there. Are you feeling me? Pour into family. Make amends. Have those hard conversations. A lot of us don't even talk to our loved ones because we made a simple mistake, but yet we act like we can't forgive. Forgive and let go, Java. My advice: forgive, let go, and try to do better.
It is definitely, timely advice. It is definitely a lot that you're talking about is needed and in the realm, Milton. And I know you're in these rooms and conversations where you're hearing that, we haven't seen the worst, of what's going to hit our community. And a year ago, I was talking about, men are going to be dealing with a lot because I thought, the tariffs were going to mess with, men's ability to buy, what we do around the holidays and Christmas. But it's going to get real interesting. And so I appreciate the fact that you said for you, the 2 things that are building your mental health is pouring into your kids and into your wife. And that is that definitely will keep it will keep you focused. It will definitely keep you out the club. It'll definitely keep you out the club. But I wanted to hear your perspective also, Milton, because we know that the majority out positive, having a good time with family. And unfortunately, sometimes, as I think you or DL said, similar to Carnival here in Boston, there are a few individuals that sees an opportunity to be negative in a positive situation. What either call to action or demand or advice do you give as someone that has influence in this space? What do you say to that part of our community? Yes, they're a part to, in reference to celebrating and everything, despite the curfew and all of that. What do you say to those individuals that may want to seize an opportunity to bring harm?
I'll say, in my opinion, what I feel like the mayor was trying to say. We refer to them as our cousins, brothers, and loved ones, right? But let's just, like I said, I always want to use me as an example when I'm trying to prove a point, right? If I was to stand on Bowden Street, I would have to go on Bowden Street with a certain crowd. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And that crowd will change the energy around Bowden Street. So even though I'm in love with what Bowden Street's doing, you won't catch me on Bowden Street because I would have to go there with a certain crowd. And that crowd don't belong in public. You understand?
I do.
So these men that are doing exactly what they're doing, yes, I say we refer to them as our brothers, cousins, and loved ones, right? So let's not forget they're our family members, but they know better. They know they've done too much to be out in community. That's the problem. That's why, make no mistakes, when it comes to the back and forth in the streets, the goal is this. When you're playing the back and forth, when you're putting in work, you want to get away. You want to go home. You want to make it back to your loved ones, right? In the streets of survival, you want to find your target, execute, and go. So to do it in a mass public like that, around crowd, does not make sense. The reason why they're willing to risk it all is because they know that individual is hiding. So now, because the community is celebrating, he wants to pop out like it's okay. No, it's not okay. You know you don't belong there. A lot of these situations are just individuals that's done too much harm in the community, and now they feel because we are celebrating that they should be out here to celebrate with community. If you're doing harm in the community, you shouldn't be out there celebrating with community because you're going to make everybody in the community a target. Okay? That's how a 9-year-old gets shot. Nobody's trying to go shoot at a 9-year-old, but the 9-year-old is out there because other individuals that know better shouldn't be out there, Job. That's what's going on. Because let's keep it all. If we're going to be real, keep it all. Let's just be all the way 100 about it. Those steppers don't need to be celebrating, Java. Those steppers need to stay in the house or stay missing like they do. Because they don't, if you're causing harm in the community, you're not outside like that, right? So this is why, unfortunately, let's just be all the way honest. This is why, unfortunately, when someone goes out to eat, they get killed in the restaurant. When someone goes to a barbershop, they get killed in the barbershop. There's a reason for that, Job. These men are getting hunted down. Right? When you're on a list, you're on a list. It's a list of deletion. Java, make no mistakes. You're on a list and they want you out of here. I got 13 bullet holes, Java. Best believe I was on the list before. So like I said, I'm a different person now. I'm uplifting my community. They see the example I am. They know I want us to come together. So for me to be on Bowden Street, I have to go with a certain crowd, and I know better, Java. So you'll never catch me on Bowden Street. No matter, even though I'm a symbol of pushing peace, you won't catch me on Bowden Street because I have to go with my brothers. And some of my brothers are still hard-headed, and they don't want to let go. So that's
what was the Milton for a brother that's right now struggling, had the life, and did things, maybe have a couple of children now, are trying to pour into the children, they're in the middle. What was the turning point for you? And then what advice would you give to a brother that's on the fence right now?
If you're 100. If you're in the middle, you only should be in the middle to pull those brothers that are committing the crimes to your side. Okay? I'm in the middle. I'm dead in the middle. I still communicate with the steppers, whatever you want to call them, but those are my cousins. Those are my loved ones. I love them brothers, right? But I understand what they're going through mentally because I was there. When I was 15, 16, 17, can't nobody tell me nothing, okay? I was going to do what I wanted to do.
I wanted to clarify, in the middle of the point of...
I thought you were talking about in the middle, deciding whether to be in the streets or in community.
No, we're on the same page. What I'm saying is that they're in the middle of that decision to walk away. They're still there, but they're like 70%. Yo, I got to get out of this. I can't take another one. What was your turning point? And then what advice would you give them that are in the middle of that decision? And let's keep it, you said keep it 100. You don't want to disappoint the crew. You don't want to come off as a sucker. You don't want to let your family down, the part of them that still wants revenge and all of that. What was your turning point, and what advice would you give to somebody that's at that turning point?
So it's simple, right? It's hard, but it's simple. If those are your real brothers, they're going to accept your decision. I just went to them one by one. My cousins, the ones that are still active, I would go to them one by one and be like, we gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. I don't care if I had to get emotional about it. Tears, I had tears. I'm crying with my cousins, the ones that really still want that energy of revenge. And I'm like, nah, we gotta let it go. We gotta let it go. And to me, if they was against it, then they didn't love me anyways, Java. You get it? They didn't love me. So the fact that most of the ones, my real ones, they're okay with what I'm doing. Okay, my circle is still there. They're okay with what I'm doing. They love it. They're not as vocal or loud about it. Like my twin, he just sits there. He don't care. You'll never hear him speak the back and forth. But they're not gonna go against what I'm trying to do, because what I'm trying to do is important. We all got kids, right? The last thing we want to do is bury our kids how our parents was burying our siblings. Yep. So you decide, right? So to that brother that's in the middle, you decide. Okay, you decide what funeral's enough, right? But while you're still playing the game, best believe there's gonna be another funeral. So if this funeral don't work, the next one might hit different. But there will be a funeral that breaks you, just like there was a funeral that broke me. So it is what it is. So decide. You want to continue doing these funerals? Oh, let's party. I'd rather party. I'd rather party. I'd rather celebrate. I'd rather celebrate. I want to have fun. Like I told my daughter, right? I try not to tell no, because as parents, I feel like that's where we go wrong. We're here to guide. So I tell my daughter, I told her the truth. Mama, I would love for you, because she lives in Brockton. I said, I would love for you to be out there on Main Street with the community and have fun. As your father, I want that for you. But as your father, I'm telling you, I know something's going to happen. I know something's going to happen. So when my daughter went home that day, I seen a social media post less than an hour later. And the guy said in Cabo Verde and Creole, already? There's thousands of people. Cops pick up a body from the floor, handcuffed another guy. And all they're saying is, already. We just got here. We couldn't even have fun yet. Nah, the community deserves more. The community deserves better. And I see what the mayor's trying to do, right? He's trying to avoid going to that house. You get it, Java? A lot of people don't know that other side of it. You know, we've had those knocks on the doors multiple times, Java. Okay? And the last one, the cop that came to my house, he was crying with my mother as he delivered that bad news. Do you hear me, Java? So what the mayor and those city officials, they don't want to break the bad news to another parent that is celebrating Cabo Verde being on the map right now, Java. Nobody knew who we was outside of Massachusetts. So as our parents are celebrating, somebody got a knock at the door, and then it's all that's gone now. The joy is gone. Now it's funeral preparations. No. So whether we like what the mayor is trying to do, that's better than that. Anything to prevent a funeral, I'm never against. I'm never against, because we should be at a point where we can celebrate, especially Cape Verdeans. We're so close, Java, man. I'm telling you, I feel it. We're so close. And I'm just proud of the community. You know, everybody, they're just starting to slowly decide, like, yo, it's a beautiful thing when we come together. It's a beautiful thing when we come together.
What's something we can do, and you can give us any update? I don't know if the plans are final yet, but to the June 2 this year, I asked that because beyond Juneteenth, beyond Black History Month, beyond this wonderfulness around the great accomplishment, the world seeing, knowing who CB is, how do we sustain that with everything that you said, mixed with the pride and mixed with the accomplishments and everything, and the contributions to American Boston, culture? How do we sustain what you're seeing right now?
So again, I go back to what I'm trying to do. I encourage these brothers to have private conversations. That's what I do, right? I have private conversations. I keep them private. I don't share those messages, right? But like I told my brother Domingos in a meeting we had with city folks on Bowden Street a few weeks ago after the situation, rest in peace to that kid who lost his life at a young age, Gio. You just gotta, I said, if you guys seen who just came in my DM with the message like, yo, my brother, I love what you're doing, man. Continue. Yo, Java, man, me and that kid's brother have so much history. So much history. I'm not even gonna get to talking, right? But it's those conversations that showed me that there is a chance. You get it like that. When he messaged me, I was like, wow. I had to verify. I'm like, is this that person's brother? They was like, yes. And I was like, oh, this is big. This is big. Because that goes back to the beginning. You understand what I'm trying to tell you without saying too much information? That's how far back it goes. So I encourage other brothers who are like me that are just tired of the Cape Verdeans who are trying to continue the back and forth. Pull that brother to the side and let him know, yo, let's let it go. Let's just let it go. It's as simple as that, right? It's that simple, but it's hard. It's difficult because we got lost. We've suffered. But I did too. I lost my brother. I lost my cousins. So if I can do it, why can't you? And it's difficult. These are difficult things that I'm asking. But we just gotta do it. We just gotta do it.
Why?
Because, like I said,
Why do you got to? Why? Why do you got to?
Because a lot of them just doing it because it just hasn't hit home yet. A lot of these kids, right? Some of these parents that I grew up with, those kids are good kids, but yet their kids are getting caught with firearms all of a sudden. And I'd be like, you're not like that. So these parents, some of these parents are losing their kids to that social media lifestyle, right? It goes back to the parents, right? So the parents will go because financially, there's an opportunity there. That's why those parents, when they see their kids doing drill music, they don't say nothing. But that's one of the quickest ways for your kids to get killed in this city, right? Because for your kid to think he's going to keep talking about he's smoking on someone's brother and there's no retribution. Again, when they see you, you can be in a restaurant, in a barbershop, no matter where you're at. They're going to make you an example. So it goes back to parents. Tell your kids to do something better too. Get off of that drill. Get off of that drill. Talk about something else. So it always goes back to parenting, right? And community. It takes us. I'm not doing nothing. It's nothing special about what I'm doing except having conversations. I'm being strategic with the people I'm talking to about, yo, listen, that's your family. Let them know we want peace. And they'll go relay that message back and forth. And that's just it. The brothers just need to give it up. Let it go. The city's changing, especially Boston. There's more Cape Verdeans in probably Brockton right now than there is Boston. There's a reason for that. So
I want to still claim that we have the biggest population. Proudly so. No, really?
I seen Mike D's post. Mike D's, he's going to these after parties, like these celebrations in the community. And Mike D's was like, nah, Brockton got it. He's like, Brockton got it. He's just, and because Brockton has a big population, you can still afford to live in Brockton. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, that's another part of it as well.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So that's why there's a lot of Cape Verdeans there. That's why I always told people, my event a few years ago, I said, I came to speak to y'all because everybody's coming to Brockton and they're like, what are you talking about? The violence just isn't that bad. But then when you see two, three celebrations, 9 shootings and stuff like that, then you're like, okay, well, there's still work to be done. Like there's still little pockets of individuals that just need conversation. And sometimes this is why I said it's important for community to help with those conversations. Some of these men want those conversations, but they can't have them because putting yourself in that position, like to meet up and have those conversations, those are life. Those sometimes it's like, this is why they say backdoor. Like you think you're gonna go have a conversation of peace, and then you can wind up getting killed that way. That's why what I'm doing is hard and difficult, and my father really don't want me to do it. And that day, on Bowden Street, before that kid passed away, I told my father, I was like, Pa, the senator texted me. She reached out to me. She wants me to go up there. They're doing something on there. He said, be careful there. I said, don't worry. Your job, I'll never tell my father not to worry. Because the same establishment I was at, I left at 9 o'clock. By 1, a kid got killed. And my father told me, I know what you're doing. And he said it. And he's like, don't be taking money. He told me just like, he said, yo, when the city folks, don't take their money. I don't want you doing it. I'm looking at it, I said, they never gave me money. He said, even if they tried, don't take it. He doesn't want me losing my life behind this job. But I know how important it is in the Cape Verdean community. So I take calculated risk, and I'm really having these conversations behind closed doors about let's just come together and leave it alone for the next generation. So the next, when in 4 years, if FIFA, the next World Cup, then by then maybe there might not be no violence. Everybody's outside in harmony and peace. That's it. But it always go back to those individuals. They know who they are. They know who they are. When you do harm in the community, you can't celebrate with the community. Just go. Just go. Let the community have that and do what I do. Man, salute that, and then just, keep your ass in the house. Keep your ass in the house and give that to community. They deserve that. So when people accept, again, there's always innocent people that get shot. That happens a lot of the time. But a lot of these individuals, they're being targeted for a reason. Always remember that. And I'm speaking to those individuals. So come this Friday, especially if Cabo Verde wins, I encourage those brothers, let community enjoy community. If you've done too much harm and you haven't had conversations, this is what I try to tell people. Java, before I started through the junta work, you would never catch me outside. You would never catch me outside in public. I wouldn't post a flyer that I'm coming here. I wouldn't post a flyer that I've had so many attempts on my life. Yes, I got shot 2 separate times, but at the amount over 20, the amount of times they was trying to take me out. So it's real. So the fact that I started going around community posting, I'll be here and there, that's real. Okay, I've come a long way. I'm uplifting my community. So I'm only outside because I'm not tearing down my community. So to the brothers that are tearing down the community, come Friday, especially if Cabo Verde wins, let community have that. Let those parents take those kids outside and just have fun. We deserve that. We deserve that. It doesn't mean you can't go next time. It just means before you go next time, have conversations with them same individuals who you're going after. Let's put it away so we can enjoy each other and eat kachupa outside till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
As long as you bring me a plate of the fried version.
Yeah, refugado.
Fried version. Okay. Yeah. So let me one comment and then one question. The comment is, when you talk about the innocent people, that may not be random to the brothers that you're speaking about that are putting in work and want to come celebrate. The randomness doesn't always have to be random. It could not be you, but it could be somebody you're standing next to celebrating. It could be your aunt. It could be your cousin. It could be your mother or your sister. And so I wanted to say that, but then also, and I don't want to come across as superficial, but Milton, I'm the type of person by any means necessary, get what we got to get. Is now, based on the spirit of everybody coming together, celebrating the culture, do you think now is in this period is now a good time to attempt to maybe try to have those conversations?
It's always a good time, Java.
Understood. Understood. I just for the ones that would it just there's a spirit in the air that is.
Those people are hurt, Java. They're hurt. They're coming from a hurt place. Make no mistakes about it. I seen how it changed my parents when I lost my big brother. You get it?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, no, they're entitled. Those feelings are real. I'm not here to dismiss no one's feelings. Let's get that clear. Everybody's entitled to their feelings. It's just, I'm here to tell you the way you're going about it, it's not going to work. I'm telling you from experience, it's not going to work. You're not going to do enough shootings to stop it. You're only going to create more chaos. That's it. Because the next time you're going to hurt someone else's kid, and now someone else got those feelings, and now someone else want those revenge. That's all. It's just a cycle. I'm telling you, every time I did work, they came back, Java. Every time I went down the street to go do a drill, they came back, Java. Mm-hmm. So, as parents, when we become parents, that's when a lot of these men want to change, right? Last thing you want is to be in the car getting shot at and your kids in the car with you. So it's always a good time.
Yes, sir.
For me, it's always a good time. So I'm always going to make myself available for those conversations before my car gets shot at or before someone I love car gets shot at. Again, make no mistake, these kids are out here. They're dealing with real mental health issues. All they know are those four corners in the block. A lot of them haven't taken trips out the city. So it's like they haven't opened their minds yet to other things, other possibilities. So they're willing to throw it all away for those four corners. So the moment we get the younger generation to realize there's more out here, man, just got to continue these talks, Java. Just got to have these talks. They're hard. They're hard. Like privately, like I don't care. Like this kid, I don't want to mention because there's a lot going on, but this is like a kid did something. We called his uncle. Hey,
you know, when you start, I'll pull you in a little bit.
Like, bro, come here. Like, listen, talk. Like, yo, the community's in a good space, but talk to your nephew. That's what we need to do. We got to hold each other accountable. Not saying your nephew's bad. It's just he caught that bug. Like, what is it? He caught that bug. That, oh yeah, this is it. That lifestyle. He's enamored with it. He's like, yeah, this is it. You know, this rapping is it. This smoking on the ops. This is it. He's in love with that lifestyle. He just doesn't know he's gonna die behind it though. A lot of these kids don't know they're gonna die behind it. So we need to have honest conversation and like, you know, you're gonna die behind what you're doing.
To that point, there's something that I will be putting in the works as we get ready to go back to school. So
I told you I'm down in September. You already told me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. I don't forget nothing. I'm down. You know I love running my mouth.
Yeah, we know. We're look. We at 11:20 and
yeah, I text you. That's why I know you don't be looking at your phone. I text you when he was like, yo, Java, I need more time. You came late and everything. In the message, I go, yo, Java, give him more time. I can wait. The brother got to get his piece off too, because you know, once I start, I'll be trying to keep you on. I know I'm 20 minutes over. But you know, it's
all love, man, because you know, folks like Carlos and whatnot, and there's clips in here that we
shout out Carlos, he's a cool guy.
Because the message has to get out there. And I think that with what you're calling for in the midst of what's coming our way as a community, if we can start to be real and address this and meet people where they are, understand the hurt with a goal of trying to help them heal by not bringing more hurt. We can do that now. When this other stuff starts hitting us as a community, I think our bounce back will be a little bit easier.
Yes, let's always, let's never make this mistake. Let's always acknowledge their feelings, not dismiss them.
Yes, sir.
We go wrong by like, nah, little bro, you shouldn't feel that way. He's willing to die behind those feelings.
Yeah.
So tell him that. Tell him, listen, I'm gonna meet you. This is why I say I meet my friends where they are. I don't judge them, nothing. I'm like, yo, come on, no, you're corny, you're whack, you know, you got to stop that. No, I meet them where they're at, and then I pour into them, and I tell them, this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I'm tired of seeing y'all suffer. I'm doing it because the aunts and the like, my godmother, I went to her house. I went to go visit her, right? After I passed, but like I was in my feelings. This is my godmother. I lost my mom's. I'm in my feelings. That's why I went over there. When I went over there, my godmother was like, Milton, do me a favor. She said, Mita, right? That's what they call me in my language. She said, Mita, do me a favor. Can you please talk to my son? I go, I will. I'll talk to him, Madalena. You know, I will. You know, I got you. I dismissed it. My cousin almost died a month later, Java. He almost died a month later. They had to medevac him. They had to put him in a helicopter. This is why I do it. Because I'm becoming something in my own family that I thought I'll never become. I went to my sister's graduation. They was pulling me to the side. My cousins was like, yo, Milton, let me tell you what you're doing. I'm like, yo, wow, y'all feel this way? Because they seen the change. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's bigger than the streets. You get it? I love my little cousins, but when I tell them to change, there's a reason for that. My godmother pulled me to the side and said, please talk to my son. And I didn't, Java. And he almost fucking died. I'm sorry. I forgot.
You're good.
This is why I do it. You get it? So yes, when I see my godmother after, I felt awkward. Java. Because she told me, please talk to my son. So this is why I do it. Yes, this is why I do it. And I looked at him, I was like, man, he was almost out of here. I'm like, yo, man, I need you to chill out. I poured into him. I was like, listen, I called him because it wasn't just him and him, my other cousin. I called both. Y'all need to chill out. You get it? And I got mad at myself because my godmother pulled me to the side and was like, can you please reach my son? So from then on, I was just like, no. And until today, he don't know. I'll randomly call him, this and that. Hey, what you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He's the guy that's standing behind me in my daughter's dance, father-daughter dance. A beautiful thing, Java. You get, my cousin would have been out of here, but instead he was able to walk behind me in case I stumbled, for me to have being able to have a father-daughter dance. So this is why I do it. I do it for my godmother. I do it for those parents that when they see me, they pour into me. Whether the kids in the community realize it or not, their own parents are pouring into me. And they keep telling me, keep it going. We need it. So that's why I do it. That's why I do it. I'm going to continue doing it.
And as you should, and take care of yourself while doing it. Brother, I love you, dude. I appreciate you. I love that you are like not technically a charter member, but you're a charter member because you just jumped right in. And Mama Java done been all in here. Loving you, praying for you.
She already know. I message
JL. JL, this is a brother, if you're not connected yet, to definitely maybe think about the boys programming. And I'll reach out to you about that September thing, JL. But,
yeah, I know he got a bunch of kids and stuff like that.
He's protect JL. I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay, yeah. Brother Milton.
Anytime, especially when it comes to the kids, they don't even got to worry. I know people don't have the budget for it, money for it, but a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, you see me running around, but I don't get paid for that. So if he needs me to uplift the kids in his program, it's just what's an hour or two, you know. Yep. Do a quick restorative justice type healing circle, check in on them. That's what I like to do. I love that. And then really pour into them, you know. So because sometimes the parents are just busy. It's not that they don't care, they're just busy. The bills are piling up, real issues are going on. So it's like the parents, they care for their kids, they want them to do good, but sometimes they just can't be there. So and that's when I feel like people like me, that's how we come in and we uplift the community. And quick update. I just want to say this, and it's going to break my heart to say this. I know what you wanted to know. So this year we wanted to do the block parties, right? This year we was most likely going to get most of the families, right? I had conversations, if not directly through a third party. We've had 5 of the 6 families agree, right? But I refused to do it without my brother Mario. So Mario has told me he's taking a step back, even though the senator wants to continue that. You know, Senator Liz Miranda's like, listen, I love what you guys did last year. I want to be part of it this year, whatever. I refuse to do it without Mario. Mario's dealing with a lot, so I want to shout that brother. But in life, like I tell people, man, when I start stuff with certain people, that's who I got to finish it with that person.
That's loyalty. That's a whole nother.
How I come. So,
yeah.
So Mario, I got to respect him. I spoke with him privately. He's just like, he's tired, right? And in the meeting that I had with those city folks, I told them straight up, y'all not going to use me how y'all did Mario. So I'm not going to be doing too much of those meetings, because for Mario, a brother who's been putting in the work for over 20 years, to feel like he has no resources and the way he gets treated by the community. And even when I go talk to these people, I be trying to tell them, yo, y'all don't, I'm fine. I don't need nothing. Mario or my brother. Like I always be like MBK or Beantown Slam. Like those brothers put in work. Those brothers really, those brothers are the connections in the community too. So when I go, it can't be done without Mario. I'm saying that there's a reason for that. He's the connection to make it all go. So again, unfortunately, as it stands today, it doesn't look like we're gonna do the block parties, but because I refuse to do it without Mario.
I'll say this: Mario put out the announcement about dissolving MBK. And then a couple of weeks later, he puts up the announcement about MBK Drive Boston doing the breakfast. So we'll pray. And there's a good part of Mario dealing with too, as his family is expanding as well. And so we need to get him scheduled again and catch up with him as well when he's ready. But I'm big on that loyalty thing, so I appreciate it. But then if he is in a space that's good for him and you all decide, you already know what it is. So
listen.
Again, I met your other brother. I meant your other brother, not Nugget. The is it the baby? He was at Fan Fest. Not Nugget.
You say the baby like the baby ain't 6 feet. Nah, so if he's not 6 feet, the baby, my baby brother, he's never he didn't want to do the Boston Globe, so he's not in that. If you're referring to the one that's in the photo, that is
no. He rolled up on me at Fan Fest.
Yeah, that's my little brother. So he's a school teacher.
Okay.
They refer to him as Flat. Yeah, that's my little brother. Yeah.
He was like, yo, I'm Milton's and the Nuggets brother. I was like, oh shoot. So
he said it like that because we like to claim like our own selves, like 196. That's the house, so we be like, nah, it's me. But what for him to be like, oh, I'm Milton's brother, I'm gonna make.
Well, he did that, I think, so I could immediately know. I was like, yo, that's my dog. But Milton, if I don't get off of here, I'm going to be in trouble as a 54-year-old man that drinks coffee during the show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I drink coffee after the show.
Oh no. I gotta do it to get through it. But brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being an authentic brother that supports and checks in and advises. It is much appreciated. And I got to shout out, whether we know he's watching or not, I got to shout out our big brother Mike. So I let him know he was on today. And then I looked at the text. The last time I texted him,
he on a vacation. He on a trip right now.
Oh, see,
he's not even in Boston. He on a trip right now. So
and there go brother Avery, who I'm sure identifies. And if you all don't know each other, you need to meet each other because this is a brother.
Listen, I want to make it clear. How do I hold the microphone? I mean, the camera. Listen, I want to make it clear. If it comes to saving these lives in the community of Boston, my name is Bombaya for a reason. I'm bringing up my Boston young adults. Let's save lives. And we don't.
Wait a minute. That's what that stands for?
Yeah, bringing up my Boston young adults. We don't need money to save lives. Reach out to me. I'll do it for free. God damn it.
Hold on. I'm taking Milton off my screen. I thought that was some Creole something. Milton, I can't stand you.
No, bringing up my.
That's what Bombaya.
It's my brother's nickname, right? And I just spelled it out the way I spelled it out. And then as I started putting in the work, I felt like it was a universal thing. Like, you just put out the letters. I was like, how do I spell out Bombaya, right? My uncle gave it to my little brother. They both passed away the same year. So to me, I wanted to keep their memory going. So to me, I just spelled it out, Bombaya. And I was like, I realized I can break it down. I was like, hold on, bring it up my butt. I was like, look at God. I said, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is exactly what I'm supposed to do because it's my brother's name and I don't play about family. Okay. You get it? So, Baya, that's so to me, when I stand on that, that's really what it is. And again, I get it. Budget cuts are affecting everybody, but we don't need money to save these kids. Reach out to me. I got y'all. And I promise you, they'll always feel these feelings. What's up?
The older brother in me, and not letting people take advantage of you, to your point, because some of these folks got budget. Some of these folks,
but I'm busy though. So I'm just permitting though. So if my schedule's free, I'm gonna do it.
I listen.
I get it.
My sister's in here. Hold on. My sister's in here. So Denise, you know what it is. All right, Milton. I don't think I've never popped you out of the school.
Don't get my wife started. So listen, I'm gonna be honest, right? Because I do want to talk about Friday's game.
Okay.
As a parent, I want everybody to know it's okay for you to judge me because if Cabo Verde wins, I told my son he can put those that four-letter word in front of Messi. So, yeah, Java.
What's the four-letter word in front of Messi?
Think about it. You could judge me. I could be a bad parent. There's gonna be a video. If we win, come Friday, my son's gonna around yelling F Messi, and I'm gonna record.
Who's Messi? Oh, the other.
That's who's going against Java.
Yeah.
That's who CV's going against. So I told my son, if we win, be prepared to drop the F bomb. He's looking at me like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Listen, because he knows I don't play. I'm raising a respectful individual. He knows I do not. No one's gonna call me when he gets older about him being disrespectful. Mm-hmm. So for him, he's like, Dad, are you serious? I'm like, boy, you better put your chest in there. We're going to rep our country and you're going to yell F Messi. I do not care. And then
you remind me of the commercial where the parents put the kid in the bathroom and they record and let the kid cuss all they want. And the girl,
we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that. He's gonna be shaking his hair, and we're gonna be waving the Cape Verdean flag. He's gonna have his Cape Verdean merch, and it's just a beautiful time, Java, man. I did not see that coming.
Denise said it's time for you to go.
Yeah, she's right. I didn't even give him breakfast yet. That's why.
Y'all see how look. You see how Milton's whole posture changed?
Yeah, whatever. I told you I'm pouring into my baby.
Both of them.
Yeah,
All three of them. Shoot.
Mhm.
All right, brother. I love you, dude. Somebody said, please. Oh God, Miss Teresa's about to send you some merch. She said, please inbox her the acronyms.
Can I be honest? I want Teresa to know that, listen, I think she's awesome. Every time I see her, I give her a hug. I so appreciate what she's trying to do, but I feel like she does enough for you, Java. So I don't want her to think I don't want it. Trust me, but I feel like she's doing so much for you, and it's like thanks, but no thanks. Like I would, I appreciate it, but it's like, nah, Teresa, you do so much for Java.
Trust me, I know. I switched clothes out the other day, and I had to text, dude.
She keep asking. Eventually I will give her
hoodies,
but
long sleeve.
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love, man. I feel it from the Java Cafe. So even when I'm busy and I only have time to pop in for a second, I send hearts. You know,
and it means a lot, man. It means a lot. Whether you're one of the 12 or 15, it still means a lot. With that being said, I'm getting off of here.
Listen, first of all, we're not. That's just what we see here, right? But you do it on every other platform. But again,
we're
gonna start letting that type of energy go.
I'm not. I don't even want to
go. We can't live there no more. As your brother, I see it too. I see it too. As your brother, I see it too. But we can't entertain that.
And
someone told me a long time ago, Milton, let it go. Let it go. We can't respond to everything. So I'm only telling you what was told to me.
Yes, sir.
Java, as your brother, let it go. You're bigger than that. You're on the magazines.
Milton, get off of here.
You're on the magazines. And I want to be on there. So I need to figure out how
we're gonna do our own journey.
I gotta put in to be on there. Even if I have to top, like if I have to pass Miss Drake May's wife, like I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Java. She's only on there respectfully because she's the wife.
Milton,
respectfully
with you.
So Boston Magazine next year. I'm gonna put in the work all this year. I better be honorable 151 if anything. Okay, Java. So I'm gonna put in the work. We'll put in the work for the community. But
as you continue to put in the work,
yes, shout out my community. I want to say it again. Shout out Bowden Street. I see what y'all are doing. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. My father passed by there after he left the event, and he was like to my sister, "What's going on?" She said, "Pa, they've been doing this ever since the first game." He said, "Oh, nah, this is too much. I got to be in the house." But it's because when you see that much Cape Verdeans outside on Bowden Street, back in the days, you already knew. But now it's different.
It's different.
It's different. Them brothers out there celebrating, enjoying it, and I'm over here like, that's it. So shout out CV. Good luck Friday. And I pray my son's allowed to swear. That's all I'm saying. Because, yo, listen, that's the only time you can say I'm a bad parent, but I'm doing it for the culture. I'm doing it for CV. You see it. That's why I put on this shirt. You get it?
He'll understand. Trust me, he'll understand. That's the only time that he's going to be able to say that.
Until he staying on business. He got to be a man, and he got to, he knows I'm starting something. I bring him along with me because I'm going to pass the torch. You get it, Java? He eventually is going to have to carry the message for his father.
Yeah,
because he's a likable person, and he's the community. The community we're in is already gravitating towards him. So when he has his little fallings, his job is this: lead them, lead them to blessings.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
be like your father. I led mine to funerals, death. Nah, Java. So,
but let's end with where you're leading them now.
Yeah.
That has to be the highlight. Knowledge to pass.
Cabo Verde. You know what it is, Java.
Sit back so we can see the whole shirt.
Cabo Verde.
Cabo Verde.
No stress.
Tudo junto. Okay.
No stress.
Yes, sir.
And it's always Tudo junto. Tudo junto because, again, Cape Verde and Creole all together, Java. When we're outside together, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, I'm in love with what my community's doing right now. So shout out my community, and I see them. And shout you out, Java, man. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. It's been nothing but love from day one. And that's what it will continue to be. And come September, what we about to do in September is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to hit 2 hours, sir.
You gotta keep extra time for me, John.
And Mama Java already wrote. She was like, what'd she say? Let him take his time. Or she said something in here. Your other adopted mother. So, all right, let me get off of here, bro. I love and appreciate you, man. And we'll talk. Yes, sir.
And no more engagement. We only entertain the.
I'm not engaging. I love you. We'll talk. Yes, sir. Yes, Billy. Yo, that's my brother. Glad to have him in the room. Wow, I really did get I'm thinking it's the lighting. I really got a little tan. Standing outside for 6 hours on Friday and Monday will do it. We're wrapping up. Today is Thursday. So my Friday. I was trying, and I still may try to get DJ Armani maybe to come in the room tomorrow. There was a lot of conversation. Shagun brought it up yesterday, or we talked about it yesterday, about a large enough place, an event for our CV community to gather to watch the Argentinian and Cabo Verde. I think I said it right. Milton will be in the comments. And all that to say that Tribe, Elevate, something, I'm gonna mess their name up. And John Barros and the Mass Convention Center, Rosemark, the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, and Endless Flair somehow, and we got to shout out Joyce Linehan too, because she's over there working with John, and Joyce she's a logistics organizing person. There is an event tomorrow. Doors open, I believe, at 4:30 p.m. and the game starts at 6. I haven't got invited to host this one, so I don't think Danielle and I will be on the big stage tomorrow. Plus, Newt said to me, or was it Newt or Danielle? It's going to be too hot. With that in mind, take a lot of water with you all. The Boston Fan Zone does have a couple of tents that spray, water. But be cognizant, and at 6, it may not be that hot. And as the sun gets ready to go down, be cognizant of drinking before you get there, your pregame. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. We got some programming scheduled for you next week. We'll let you know about that. And we have a bodybuilder coming in next week. And I think a couple of other things. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. Well, when are they celebrating the holiday? Tomorrow? Technically, I should have Monday off, but I don't know. I'll let y'all know. All right. Because that's what popped up and you clicked, Dina. I'll let y'all know about Monday. All right, folks, have a good weekend. Stay cool. Take care of yourselves. Vacation. I just realized this is the holiday weekend. I'm out of here. See y'all potentially on Monday at 10 a.m. All right, peace, y'all.